Hi there, this is Mckenna Canty. I'm a senior at UMass Amherst and an intern with the New Music Alliance, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping the careers of Western New England artists who write original music. You're about to hear my interview with composer, songwriter, and pianist Stephen Schoenberg. Hi there, Stephen. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
So I was wondering about your song, We Got the Power, and how you wrote that, like what was the process of writing that song? I know you wrote that with your wife, correct?
Yeah, she's the lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was actually a project a children's music project that we did that were songs that were really based on social issues for kids. So my wife is a children's book author, and she's also a lyricist. And one of the songs, actually the song to end this project was We've Got the Power. So when I was asked to be composer in residence for the magnet schools of the city of Springfield to work with the bands and the choruses, one of the things that the teachers asked from me was, is there anything that we can do with all of the different classes, or as many classes from different schools as possible? And the first thing that came up in my mind was, well, we could have everybody sing different parts of the different choruses from elementary school to high school. So we did it. You know, it was very complicated, and we had a bunch of people on board, other teachers, choreographers, stuff like that. And then Julie Jaron, who was the head of really all of the music for all of the magnet schools, approached, or maybe was approached by UMass. I'm not sure how it happened. Mm-hmm. But somehow we got invited to perform the piece and film it at, I think it was the last winter choral festival that UMass did, but I don't remember. It was back in 2012.
I think it came out really well. It definitely captured the We Got the Power. It's definitely very powerful. I really enjoyed listening to it. It came together well.
Yeah, I think it's very relative right now, actually. Mm-hmm. It would be, yeah.
I was actually going to say that. I was thinking that as I listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do know that you do write songs for, like, children's songs. I was kind of wondering what it's like to write arrangements for Sesame Street, because I know you've done that. Like, how do you get in the mindset to kind of, like, write songs for little children that are going to hear on TV?
Well, that was just, I went to a conservatory of music, and when I got out of the music, so when I got out of school, I wanted to learn how to, my background was in composition and orchestrating and all, but in more of a classical vein, and I wanted to learn how to do that in a more popular vein. And there was this man named Gary Sherman who had done arrangements for Steely Dan and Aretha Franklin, and actually was partners for a radio and TV music commercial production company in New York. They were very, very hot. This was in the 70s, and I just decided I would go and see if I could get a job there. And I did. They hired me, and then I decided, well, I could also write and score animations for kid stuff as well. And I also wanted to write a musical. That's a whole other story. And so I just walked into Sesame Street without even any type of, I had no appointment or anything. And I just lucked out, and I got a job right then and there. And then back then they had a bunch of other programs. This is Children's Television Workshop did, and I just scored animations for them.
do you know the lyrics of the children's song before you do the arrangement for it, or?
Right. So
mhm.
doing animation, scoring the little cartoon animations is one thing. Yes. So when I wrote songs for Sesame Street, the script writer would send me the script with the lyric in it, and then I would put music to it, which is really how I write with my wife Jane, and even the more artsy stuff. There's a music theater piece that I finished with a local writer, Richard Michelson, and it's all about Edvard Munch, the artist. And he would send me all of the poems, and eventually he would be writing lyrics. So really, I would say that the words pretty much come first, and then I put music to that, whether it's a kid's song or a art song or a pop song.
Yeah, that makes sense, definitely.
You're listening to an interview with composer and pianist Stephen Schoenberg.
And I'm a huge musical theater fan as well, so I was kind of curious
Great.
what's it like writing for musicals, and like, is there a show that stands out to you that you've written for that you really enjoyed?
Well, I've never had a show on Broadway. I've had a bunch of readings, and definitely came very close to having something on. Writing for musical theater, well, I'm actually writing 2 music theater pieces now, one with my wife and one with a children's book author, and a different children's book author. And that's very different because that's character-driven, and you have a book or a libretto in front of you, and you have to musicalize a script. So you take a section in the script or an event or just a moment or a pivotal event, and then you take what the book writer wrote, and with the lyricist and then the composer, you write a whole musical presentation of that moment. So it's very, very different than just writing a song. I mean, you have to really think of the character's voice, how many characters are in there, how many different voices do you have to write for, and are they developing? Is their narrative developing? It's just a very different process.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
That sounds so cool. Wow. And then I listened to your Christmas album this week, so that really kind of put me in the holiday spirit on Spotify. I was wondering if the recordings that you have on Spotify, are those like improvisations when you're playing the piano, or are you following specific music for it?
No, they're completely improvised, and when there's a song involved, it's just you listen to the Christmas album, so it's just an improvisation around the themes of that. But actually, that album did not come from my record company, Quabbin Music Productions, or Quabbin Records. That was a company in California approached me to do a Christmas album, and that was when that was done. And I think that's only available on download, I believe. But that was just a few days in their studio where I would just improvise around a bunch of songs, and I forget how many I did, but the ones that are on the CD are the ones that stayed. They were the best ones, because not all improvisations are really good.
Right. Well, it came out very good. I really enjoyed it.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I know you've gotten a chance to collaborate with a lot of different musicians in your career. Do you have any experiences that you've really enjoyed, like writing with specific people or playing with specific people? I know that's really broad, but
yeah, I actually haven't had a lot of opportunity to perform with a lot of other musicians, but just because I'm more I more write music than anything else. What I do love collaborating with is scoring films, because you're collaborating with a director and an editor, and that's a whole different type of collaboration. But that's a great love. I mean, I just love collaborating anyway, whether it's on a music theater piece or writing a song with a lyricist. So I really haven't played until recently with a bunch of amazing local musicians, and some of them really perform with major groups just all around. And that's been a blast. But other than that, I actually, other than projects like when I have a film score and I need to hire a lot of musicians, and I'm usually playing the piano on that. That's when I work with other musicians, and those are from Boston, New York, or local. So yeah, I'm pretty much of a loner, I guess you'd say.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Those are all of the questions I have for you. I really appreciated you taking the time to talk to me today, so thank you.
Well, thank you, Mckenna, and just be well and stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
You just heard an interview with Western New England composer, songwriter, and pianist Stephen Schoenberg. This is Mckenna Canty signing off for the New Music Alliance, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping the careers of Western New England artists who write original music.